What a time to be alive. Fairly straightforward video here. I own a Switch 2. I own some games for the Switch 2. And I own some accompanying accoutrement. And I just want to talk about it. It's like the old saying goes, if a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to make it sound, did it ever even matter? So the Switch 2 itself is basically the happy medium of what happens in this new generation of consoles that we're getting, which is like the halfway generation. It's the generation of, it's definitely an improvement, but it's not the same radical level of technological leap that we've seen previously. So with that comes, like from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3, you were getting like dramatically different video games, like to the point where people said, I don't know if they can make video games look better than this. And to an extent, they were kind of right. Like PS3 to PS4, graphical fidelity increased, but the types of games people were making were not dramatically increasing, except for those rare few games. Then you get the PS4 to PS5, that gap closed even less. That was 30 frames to 60 frames with a little bit of ray tracing in there, but still, same level of graphical fidelity for the most part, same type of game that you were making in terms of size and scale. But then you get into the Switch, which is a glorified Android device, and the Switch 2 is basically, what if that glorified Android device was made like shiny, new, and modern? Like it really is. Jeff Grubb called it a Switch Pro. It's very accurate to call this a Switch Pro because, and that's all I really wanted. All I really wanted was a way to make my Switch feel like it was less, it had less of a leg down on the competition, that it could compete to some level of capability sense with the other consoles. So that's me. That's me right there. This is the Switch 2. There's many like it, but this one is mine. And this is a shiny new toy. Like, what can I say? It's so sick. It says Switch 2 right over there. Like, the flipping magnets pop out and then they slide back in. You're just like, oh my gosh, I could do that a million times. Flipping absolutely beautiful screen that I have smudged already. I will say I adore the Joy-Cons, but like, the magnet feature, so much fun. I really love that whole clap feature that they have. The size of it is actually really noticeable. Like, this is my Mario Galaxy Joy-Con, and this is its Switch 2 counterpart. Like, that size difference is everything, dude. Like, look at that. That's crazy. I think it's so cool. This has always been a little bit too small for me. Like, it feels small. This feels like it's a good size in your hand. I really enjoy that about the Joy-Cons. The screen size, I was using it today at a friend's house to play some Mario Kart, and I will say that the screen size is like one of the best features about it. There's far less of a bezel, there's far clearer and brighter of a picture. It's basically a Switch without compromise. And when the Switch felt like a minimal viable product for Nintendo to get out the door and sell hundreds of millions of units to people, the Switch 2 feels like that premium version of that product where they spared no expense, like Jurassic Park, where you can finally have all of these upgrades to all of these things that felt like they were just trying to get it across the finish line out the door. Like, it's really, like, it's just really great to see. It's really great. Like, I think the Switch as a product itself is just something to sell to people. It's a worthwhile investment for people that are interested in it. So in terms of games, there's really 2 games that I'm playing besides the giant backlog of games that I have currently waiting on that shelf right over there. That's all the games that I bought like in preparation for the Switch 2, and I'm very excited to play them, but that is just something I haven't been able to get to yet because I've just been so enraptured with both Mario Kart World and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Talking first about Mario Kart World, so much fun. I think it's a very different type of game. I think it's a very interesting type of game. I didn't love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I respect that game. It's basically the best version of Mario Kart that you can ever make. But for whatever reason, I just didn't play a lot of it. I think I have like 10 hours total on Switch, and I probably have more, including, you know, going to a friend's house, playing on my brother's account, neither here nor there. Point is, didn't play a lot. Mario Kart World, though, you've given me costumes to unlock, you've given me vehicles to unlock, you've given me Rainbow Road to unlock, you've given me little stickers to unlock, you've given me all of this, like, I think all of those unlocks are forwarding me to play the game more, and I think the structure of the game in a few key areas is really getting my attention. I want to talk about 3 things with Mario Kart World. I want to talk about the open world, Grand Prix, and Knockout Tour in terms of my level of disappointment. Open world, I'm most disappointed with, but at the same time, I'm not upset about it. I never expected them to have Mario Kart Breath of the Wild. I never expected them to have these secrets upon secrets upon secrets. The open world almost acts as like a hub area for you in the interim between races, and most times the main purpose of the open world is just to keep you entertained in between playing the structured races that you're supposed to be playing. It's not meant to take your focus away from the primary goal, which is racing other people and racing other Mario Kart characters. It kind of feels like in Destiny, a lot of people jump around the tower, the D2 social space, and they just jump around for like 45 minutes to an hour just talking with their friends. I feel like people could do that in Mario Kart World, just free roaming and just doing P-switch challenges while they're just riffing and just joking with their friends. I think that's like I think that's something that people are going to do, and that's probably something I'm going to do. So that's what I think about free roam. What do I think about Grand Prix? Grand Prix I actually played, that's the least that I've played of the 3 different modes, and it's the one I'm most medium disappointed by. Like, I'm a little bit less disappointed by it because it actually was pretty fun, but I'm most boggled by it in terms of its structure. I think that it's so confusing because the entire structure of the game doesn't feel like it supports Grand Prix. It feels like it supports Knockout Tour. Because the idea of, and I'll talk about Knockout Tour at the same time that I'm talking about Grand Prix, because really my opinion about both are intertwined with one another. That being said, that Grand Prix has the classic structure of Mario Kart, which is you start a race, you go to the 3 laps, you end the race, you start the next race. Except it's through this open world format, and that structure kind of has to contort around that. So the first 2 laps that you do, they're not on the actual track, they're just getting to the track. And then you only do 1 lap on the track, which I'm actually pretty disappointed by. I would have preferred to be able to do more laps on the track, and then maybe like a 4th lap is driving to the next track. I'm playing less on the curated track spaces, and that's what I don't enjoy. But it's still a classic tried and true formula. Like, it's still fun to race against other people. Knockout Tour, though, that is absolutely where it's at. Knockout Tour is my favorite thing in this game. I feel like they came up with the idea of Knockout Tour and said, okay, let's make a game that supports this, because it feels completely in line with what they want to do, with the goals for this game. Because Mario Kart World, with its open world structure, going from one to another to another to another, the Knockout Tour is the most seamless version of that transition. It's incredibly engaging. It's so much fun. I was playing it with some friends over the weekend, and it is just like, it is a crown jewel of Mario Kart World's crown. The other game I've been playing is Breath of the Wild. Again, for like the 4th time. I love Breath of the Wild. I don't want to talk about it here too much, other than to say that I do love it, and I am playing it. I'm playing it a lot, in fact. But it's such an uncompromised version of Breath of the Wild, which is how I also feel about the Switch 2. The Switch 2 and Breath of the Wild are so similar because they were so exciting, but they still felt like held back pieces of technology. Switch 2 mixed with Breath of the Wild on Switch 2 feels like that burden, that limiter is completely gone away. And that is by far the best part about the whole package, is just that I can finally play these games as I feel they were designed to be made, designed to be played with. So it's the definitive way to play Breath of the Wild is now no longer emulating on PC and getting sued by Nintendo, but it's now on Switch too. And it's so sick. I can't wait to talk about it more. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the accompanying accoutrement. The accompanying accoutrement is the controller. So I have two controllers. I'm going to talk about the lesser one first, and that's the wireless GameCube controller for Switch 2. I just had to get it. GameCube was my first home console. I have so many fond memories of not being able to beat Mario Sunshine because of how difficult and obtuse that game is, but I just had to, I had to buy it, and it feels so good, like, flipping, listen to that, flipping, you can hear that, it's like ASMR right here. The most idiotic thing in the world, I don't know if you can see this, but they have a little L1 button, or ZL button right here, and that's idiotic, that is so stupid, but I kind of love that they're, like, forcing, like, technically you can play a Switch 2 game on this controller in all technicalities, but they've truly maintained the purpose of this controller, which is to play GameCube games, and I really like that. But the crown jewel of, more than anything, more than the Switch controllers, more than the Switch Joy-Cons, more than the LCD screen, more than the technology it supports, more than the games it plays, the crown jewel, absolute slam dunk of this entire device lineup is the Switch 2 Pro controller. This thing is a killer app. If you sold this as just a premium product for the Switch, like a Switch Pro Controller 2, instead of the Switch 2 Pro controller, you just move that 2 right around, I think it sells like 1 million units. Like, I think this thing sells out because it is such a quality piece of technology. It feels so good. I really liked the Pro Controller 1, but for some reason, every single one that I owned just kind of felt like it was like a little bit busted. This feels like such a sturdy piece of technology. It's got programmable back buttons right here, and not like, the best part about this is that they are per game programmed. So if in Breath of the Wild you can have certain settings, so my back button is my run button, and then in Mario Kart it can be a completely different set of buttons. That is a flippin' genius piece of technology that they're able to make with the Switch 2 and its Pro Controller in concert with one another, and I love it. I think it's so much fun. I think it is, like, every time I use it, it's so slick. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I really like the Switch 2. I know it's a minority opinion on the internet to say that, but ultimately, I just look at all of the accompanying software and hardware, and I look at the fact that it feels like an uncompromised experience in basically every area, and that's what's so appealing to me. I have faith that Nintendo is going to use this software. The hardware is going to empower the software to be uncompromised. I think that the results speak for themselves in how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look, and I'm so excited to see what Nintendo pushes, because a lot of their teams have primarily been focused on just what new experience can we lend to the player that puts fun at the priority, and that's what I'm here for, and I'm excited to see what this level of an uncompromised Nintendo can accomplish. I plan on making more videos about it, and I hope you're there to join me. Have a good night. Peace out, or a good day. I don't know what time you're watching this.